Clint Eastwood just said, "Until we start respecting the poor, our society will never change." Those words hit like a thunderclap, freezing everyone in their tracks. Clint was walking alone on a cold, quiet street when his eyes caught a homeless man sitting against a grimy wall, clutching an empty cup, his face worn and tired. Without hesitation, Clint walked up and bought him a hot meal and some tea. But what happened next stunned everyone. Tears welled up in the man's eyes as he looked up and said, "I've been waiting for someone like you for a long time." That simple meal wasn't just food. It was a spark that ignited a secret the man had been hiding. A secret powerful enough to shake the entire city's foundation. Nobody expected that this small act of kindness would reveal a hidden truth about the city's forgotten souls and corrupt systems. What if one small gesture could change everything? What if kindness was the key to exposing a truth that no one dared to speak? Would you take the chance to help or turn your back? This is just the beginning, and what happens next will surprise you. Do you believe there's still hope left in humanity, or is it all lost? Clint's quiet kindness sparked something no one saw coming. The homeless man, still wiping tears, handed Clint a folded, worn-out envelope. Inside were documents revealing a massive cover-up involving local officials ignoring the city's homeless crisis. The room around them seemed to hold its breath as Clint's face tightened, a slow zoom capturing his stunned silence. Suddenly, the man revealed he used to work inside the very system responsible for the neglect. A betrayal so deep it could bring down powerful people. Just then, a sharp knock echoed outside the diner where they sat, freezing them both in place. Who could it be? And why now? This moment was more than coincidence. It was the start of a dangerous game. What would you do if your small act of kindness uncovered secrets worth killing for? Tell me, have you ever stumbled on a truth you wished you never knew? The knock at the diner's door sent chills down Clint's spine. The homeless man's eyes darted nervously as Clint reached for the envelope again, weighing the risk of what they had uncovered. The man's voice dropped low. "If they find out I spoke to you, my life won't be safe." Outside, the streetlights flickered as shadows moved closer. Clint's calm demeanor cracked for a moment. He knew this wasn't just about food or charity anymore. This was a battle against a system built on silence and fear. The documents detailed how city leaders had been funneling funds meant for homeless shelters into their own pockets, leaving thousands to suffer in the cold. But the biggest shock was yet to come. The man revealed that someone close to Clint had a hand in the corruption. Clint's jaw tightened, the camera zooming in on his clenched fists as dark music swelled. Suddenly, his phone buzzed with a message. "Stop digging or you'll regret it." What would you do if the fight for justice threatened everything you loved? Could one man's courage really bring down an empire? And who could Clint trust now when the enemy was closer than he thought? Comment below. Do you think Clint will back down or fight till the end? Clint's world turned upside down the moment he read that message. The room felt colder, heavier, like a trap closing in. He stared at the phone, then at the man beside him, whose eyes were filled with fear, but also determination. Suddenly, the diner's TV flashed breaking news. A high-ranking official linked to the scandal had just resigned amidst rumors of a leaked investigation. The man whispered, "This is just the beginning. They'll try to silence anyone who gets too close." Clint's slow-motion close-up showed his face hardening with resolve, dark music rising. But then, out of nowhere, the diner door burst open, and a familiar face stepped in, a trusted friend or a deadly traitor. The tension shattered the room as Clint's heartbeat seemed to echo in silence. What if the biggest betrayal was yet to come? What if the enemy was someone he never suspected? Would Clint fight back or lose everything? Tell me, what would you do if your closest ally turned against you? Just as the tension peaked, Clint's so-called trusted friend smiled coldly and revealed he'd been working for the corrupt officials all along. The man who once stood beside Clint was now the biggest threat. But Clint wasn't done. He calmly pulled out his phone and live-streamed the entire confession to millions watching worldwide. Suddenly, the power shifted. The city erupted with outrage, protests sparked, and the corrupt empire began to crumble. Yet the man who betrayed Clint vanished into the shadows, promising revenge. Clint looked straight into the camera, his voice steady and fierce. "This fight is far from over. What if one act of courage could ignite a revolution? Would you stand up or stay silent? The truth is out. Now it's your move. Comment below. Who do you think will win this battle for justice? Clint stood alone on that cold street again, but this time something had changed. The air was charged with hope. The small meal he gave that homeless man had started a fire no one could put out. The city's darkest secrets were exposed, and people who once ignored the suffering began to demand change. Yet Clint knew the battle wasn't over. Shadowy forces still lurked, waiting for their chance to strike back. But in that moment, as dawn broke over the skyline, Clint smiled quietly. One simple act of kindness had sparked a revolution, proving that even the smallest light can break through the deepest darkness. So tell me, what simple act could you do today to change the world? Sometimes the greatest power lies in the smallest gesture. In this story, it's only just begun.